Hello friends, today sorry about that the video today is late. As you can see, my room light is on. I'm doing recording this video today in the evening uh, because I had an interview in the morning and I think I was preparing for all that, so couldn't work on the video, but now I've got time in the evening, I can work on it. So today we are going to look into a feature request that's to add security concerns on feedback page. So we need to add security content concern type on feedback page, which will be addressed as high priority. So as you can see on the UI at multiple times on the UI, let me log in, and when we go to the page and in case any of our users sees a security vulnerability, for example there's some password which is visible, or maybe something that on the network the user was scanning the network and was able to see, there might be certain cross-site scripting issues on the HTML side that might be happening. All these are very critical issues and these have to be addressed as soon as possible. uh, in the future I might look into integrating Veracode or Sonar Cube or Sonar Type into our code base, so that once we deploy or build the solution, the next step would be for us to run these scans and then get the vulnerabilities that are existing within the application, and those will be addressed as well. But however, if a user reports the vulnerability or security concern, right now we have only feature and bug reports, so we would want to add um, a security concern as, and then we would add a title. The user would be able to add a title and a description and then submit it onto the table. Once, as a developer, once I receive a concern which is not a feature, not a bug, but it's a security concern, then that would be the highest priority to be taken, and we would be able to I will look into it and I'll try to resolve it as soon as possible. Goal of this change would be to allow users or give a good time, a quick turnaround towards security concerns addressed by the users. That kind of builds up the confidence in the users that this application is secure, is following the standards, industry standards, the OWASP standards, and then later on that can also help in us retaining customers for the website. So let's look at the code. So I am on the code side. We would go to the feedback page. We have the preference page and then finance about. Let's see if it's in the components. Feedback form. This is the feedback form. So let's see. I have this option. Control C, and then let's add one more option here, and that would be value would be security, and then this will be a security concern, and I think I would leave it for that right now. And then here target as, I would also add one more or security over here, so it's gonna be like a set type. One thing I can see is not assignable as a parameter, so let's see where we all need bugs and stuff. So here it would be use state feature bug. I want to see, we have a feature bug and we have a security, and then we would have a comma feature. That resolves our problem. So we are using use state, and then we are saying here, and then we have a feature, security, and then we have feature here. So I think this is the only section we would want. Error submitting feedback is that when we do the feedback, that those are not feature request, bug report, or security concern, so we should be good with that. And on the top here we should be able to get the feature, uh, and then over here I would say once you submit it and once we get the OK, right, we should be able to have a message saying that feedback submitted or bug reported successfully. So we have here, we would have something similarly set over here as security, and have it here type is equal to security. I would want to keep it small letter, so this becomes a small security, and then this on the top becomes a small security, and then hence the error will go away. And then over here, if the type is security, then we would say security concern reported successfully. And I would change this and tell Copilot to give me a small icon for, I would say give small icon for security concern. Oh, this is more like a lock and key. I think that's good. Security concern reported successfully. I think these changes, let's review it. The changes that I'm seeing in the feedback form is we in the use state we have added security as a type, and then later on below we have a if statement, like we have a bug, we have a security concern reported successfully, and then we have set type, and here we are setting the types based on what the value is, and then over here we are having the value security in the options so that we can select that in the drop down box. I think this is good enough for now. We'll have to test it later on once we deploy, so let's do that right now. Added security concern on feedback form. Let's commit and sync, and it's committed, so we can now go to the deployment part. Let's deploy, let's see the deployments, and yeah, maybe in 25 seconds we will be able to see a deployment. Yeah, ready. I think it is ready. Let's refresh. We are still on the feedback form. We have refreshed the page, and the next thing, let's open the drop down, and we have a security concern now along with the bug report and feature request. So let me select that. Let me add something, test, and then title should be test, and the description should be test, and let me submit this. And once I submit it, I get a new row of relation feedback violates check concern feedback type check. So we are seeing this error message now. This error message is because we have a check constraint over here, so we'll have to do a feedback type check. So let's look at, go to the database in the feedback. In this table, let's look at the auth policies, and let's try to add it and see what is it. So this one, let's look into this, and this says public feedback check user ID auth user ID. So this says that only the user can insert feedback. I don't see any problem here. and then the other one is user can read their own feedback. So we edit the policy here, and I even this one is like users can read their own feedback, so I don't see any problem here. However, on the error message we have this section which says this one. So why don't we quickly ask ChatGPT and we'll try to get to know what this error message basically means. Let me look into the let me send this across, and then let's see what it happens. What the error message means that your feedback table in Superbase has a check constraint on the type column, likely feedback type, and the value you are inserting doesn't match the allowed set. Yeah, this is what I felt would be going on. In Superbase, open the SQL editor and run this statement, and then we have bug feature. Look for something like, okay, so let's copy this and see what do we have. Let's run the select statement and let's see the constraint source and constraint name. So let's go to this one, let's open the editor here, and let's control A, control V. So we are running this, we are run con scr, right, and does not exist. Perhaps you mean to reference the pg constraint con key or the column pg constraint dot con bin. Yeah, this one we'll have to send it to GPT, so let's send it across. Something has changed in Superbase, so we'll have to add that one. Great catch. Yeah, that's a good thing. So we need to copy this one and check constraint on feedback table. So this is the select query that we need to run, and so what we'll do is over here now we'll go to Superbase and we'll run this one. So let's control A, control V, and let's run this one. And then here we have feature bug text. So feedback check type, and then this one is there. We need to add the security concern as one more area over here. I don't think we can edit it, right? Feedback type check. Okay, let's see how we can work, what we can do to let's go to the table again and let's see what we can do about it. Yeah, edit column, and then over here we would have a define an array, default values, and here we have the text. So let's add this one with security as well. So this one is a array, right? So control V, and then one more, instead of bug we would have security, and then that text is there. And what we would do is save it over here. So once we save this, we have successfully updated column type, and now I think we would be able to refresh and we would be able to submit security concern. Let's see if the value is security, and that is being submitted. Test and test, and then we submit it. Submitting error, new row for relation feedback violates check constraint feedback type check. So let's confirm what we have in the code. In the code we are feedback, right? Submit feedback. What in the code we are saving the value, and then we are submit. On the button we are submitting, and then we should have the get success message, which is we would have alert, and then here we would do a handle submit, and then within submit we would add the insert statement that would be user id, type, title, description. And so yeah, everything looks good in the code here. I Let's again go to the edit column and let's look at what they have over here. And now check constraint, we have the text, bug and security within the array. So this should work, I think so. Let's try and insert a row. Let me try and see if I can insert a row. Or maybe that can be that in the submission form I have security, control F. Let's see if it's all the ones are lower end. So security, security, type security, small security. Oh yeah, this one is capital security, and in the database I had set it to big security. So let me confirm the changes. Let me update it. Lowercase security. This is the change. I think I was sending a capital K or a capitalized S. I should be sending a small one. So let's deploy now. I think that solves our problem. So deploy this, wait for the deployment to happen, and then I think we should be able to submit it successfully. I did not know about the uh, the constraint that we had on the column, and I think while submitting we were able to catch the error message. I think the error handling on the page is a good example here, or a good addition that was done, and after submitting we were able to showcase that error message, and then this is the alert that we were getting, and then that kind of told us to investigate more about it, and I think right now the issue should be resolved. So let's try it again. Security concern, and then title test, and we are testing it again, and we submit it. This time we get security concern reported successfully. And on the database side, if we go into the table, discard our changes, we would be able to see that the security test new feedback is there, and with that we can now mark this feature to add the security concern on feedback page as done. So let's delete both the rows. The next one we would be looking into is adding our YouTube channel link on the about page to attract viewers. So this point I think we'll take care of this in the next video. This point is something that I felt would be a good step towards connecting the website to the. Anyways, in the YouTube video channel description below, you would be able to see the hyperlink to access the website, but we want to do something the other way around as well. We would want the users who have come to the website first to get to know about the application and what the processes we are doing on YouTube. For them to see it, I should be able to provide the YouTube links on there, and then we would be able to the user would be able to visit the YouTube pages and YouTube videos and see everything. That feature will work on in the next video. So for now I think we are done with this. Thank you so much for being there, and please do visit the website, and if you want to log in, try it out, add your feedbacks, and later on hopefully with all this, later on you would be able to save more, spend less, and live a rich life. Thank you so much for your time.